What is a self-directed IRA and how to invest with it? A self-directed IRA is a type of IRA in which you invest in alternative assets, so not just the public markets. So you could use to invest in things like real estate, both in the US and abroad, even livestock, private equity, venture capital, startups, etc. So how do you open up a self-directed IRA? Well, many of you probably have a regular IRA. It could be an old 401k or just a traditional Roth IRA that's sitting and investing in public stock, mutual funds, index funds, etc. So the first step is opening up a self-directed IRA and rolling that over. So what does that mean? That means that you have to open up a specific custodial account only for self-directed IRAs. The traditional brokerage houses such as TD Ameritrade, Schwab, Vanguard don't normally do this. So you have to go to specific custodians that only deal in self-directed IRAs. So you open up an account with a custodian, you roll over that money into the self-directed IRA custodian, and then you have to open up an LLC. Now that LLC functions as your investment vehicle for your self-directed IRA. It has an operating agreement in which the self-directed IRA is the sole owner. You as an individual are not listed at all on the operating agreement as an owner of the LLC because you're not. It is owned by the self-directed IRA. Of course, you could be a manager for that LLC and make investment decisions and have signatory, but you are not the owner. Okay, once you open up that self-directed IRA LLC and the bank account, that's when you can start investing. And that self-directed IRA can invest in private equity fund, venture capital, real estate in the United States and abroad, and everything needs to be owned by the IRA. It's not you, it's the IRA. You could manage it, but you don't own it. And that's important because if it's by any chance owned by you or there's any sort of commingling of funds, it could be big trouble and the IRA could blow up. So let's look into some of the important things that you cannot do when you own a self-directed IRA. You cannot benefit from a self-directed IRA, which means that let's say you want to buy a house in Colombia for a real estate investment, okay? And you buy it with your IRA. You can't get an investor visa because why? Because that means you benefited from the IRA. No self-dealing. What does that mean? That means that you can't, buy a company or buy a piece of property from your parents, from your children, from yourself. It has to be completely different. And also, there are prohibited transactions. What that means is, again, you can't use the IRA to buy a house and then you live in that house. You can't, your business needs some funding. You can't use the IRA to invest in that business. A hint, you can't actually do that with something called ROBS, rollover business startup, but that's a completely different topic. With an IRA, you cannot buy a business from yourself. You can also not buy an investment home and then work on it, fix it up, etc. You really can't even hammer a nail if it's owned by your IRA. So it's really, really important to make sure that you do this right and make sure you don't do any of these prohibited transactions. As I say, the consequences can be dire with the IRA. It's just blown up. If you have any questions and you want to open up a self-directed IRA because it's a great investment tool, especially in these uncertain times, then give me a call at Global Expat Advisors and get a consultation with us. Thanks.